Hi, boys and girls. It's Jolly Fun 9. Before we get started with our E sound today, let's give ourselves a couple of butterfly breaths to get our bodies calm and our brains ready for learning. Ready? One hand on your shoulder, the other hand on your other shoulder. Breathe in with your butterfly wings. One more butterfly breath. Here we go. Get ready. Remember yesterday we said we were going to be learning about the E in the OR sound, but today we're going to just focus on the E. Let's sing our song.
See the donkey in its stall, E-R is its call.
Oh dear, I forgot our friend B wants to sing along because the E sound is in B's name. Here's B. Let's sing again.
See the donkey in its stall, E-R is its call.
One more time. It's a little short song.
See the donkey in its stall, E-R is its call.
Thank you, B. Now, let's see what we can see in our picture that might have the E sound in it. I see some bees over here on the flowers. Let's get our pencil and let's circle the bees. How many bees do you see? Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3 bees. Did you hear another E sound in 3? Let's see if we can write that phrase, 3 bees. Ready? You might know the th sound looks like this. Did you remember? T and H together make the th sound. What do we hear next? R. It's our R sound. And then our E. There's our word, 3. Can you hear the E at the end? Then we said we saw 3 B's. What do you hear at the beginning? B, b. Here's our beginning sound. Then we know one way to spell that E sound is with a double E. And at the end, even though we hear a Z, it's that S tricking us. Let's read our phrase. 3 bees. Good job. Do you see anything else that has an E? I see something back here. Wow, there are lots of these guys. What are these called? They're called sheep. Let's see how many sheep we can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sheep. Let's try to write that word sheep. Ready? Here we go. Here's our sh sound, 2 letters. Shh. And one way to write the E sound. There we go. She. P, p, at the end. Let's read the, whoops, sorry boys and girls. Let's read the word. Ready? Sheep. Do you see our E in the very middle there? Good job. I see something else that has E in it. And let's circle. We'll circle one of our little sheep here. What about this? What is this? It's a tree. Boys and girls, we're going to be learning about another way that we can spell E, and it's actually with E-A. Let's see what's in this picture. Here's a tree. Can you write it on your own paper? Tree. I'll write it for you up here. Let's change the color of our marker. Let's make it blue this time. Here we go. Let's see if we can write it. See if you can write it before I do. T, er, E. Don't forget your two E's. All right, let's see what the next one is. Whoops, got to put my pencil back. Wow, it's the sea, like another word for ocean. Have you ever seen that word sea? Do you remember? Is it E-E or E-A? I'm going to show you something over here. All right, when I write S-E-E, it's like I see you with my eyes. But when I write S-E-A, it's like the ocean. So I think that's the one we need to write here. S-E. And do you notice that my lines are different sizes? Here's a short one and here's a long one. Any idea why this one is longer? If you said because I need two letters for my sound, you are absolutely right. Let's see what's in this picture. Can you see that? Let me move myself a little. It's a leaf. Leaf. Let's see if we can write leaf. Write the first sound. Let's get my pencil. Did you write oh? Good. And leaf could be E-E or E-A, but because I've seen it in books, I know it's E-A. See if you can write the last sound before I do. Leaf. Did you get the f sound? Good job. All right, let's see what's in our next picture. Teeth. Teeth. Wow, look, we have one short line and two long ones. So I know I have one letter here, two or more letters here, and two or more letters here. Let's do teeth together. Ready? Let's write it. You write it first. Did you write T? Great. Now, E could be E-E, could be E-A. But I have seen this word so many times, I know it's E-E. Now, do you remember that th sound? Let's see. Remember when we wrote 3 earlier today? I need a T and an H. What's my word? Teeth. Good job. Now let's see what our next picture is. Ooh, this is a teapot. And it looks like the person is pouring some tea, but let's look at how many sounds I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a first grade challenge word. Let's try to write this compound word, teapot. Do you remember a compound word means where we take two words and we smush them together? So we have tea, pot, teapot. Let's see if we can write it. Wow, what a big word. T. And because I drink a lot of tea, boys and girls, I have seen the word tea a lot of times, and I know it's E-A. Tea. And then I have a P. Ah, ah. Remember, ah, ah? And another T at the end. Wow, can you read that long word? Teapot. Teapot. All right, one more word to write here. Oh, I see 2 bare feet. Feet. Let's write feet. Ready? F, E, T. Nice job. All right, Miss Bible's going to go erase one of these E's because she didn't do a very good job. So let's fix that. All right, now let's put that E back in there, okay? Here we go. E. Oh, much better. All right, let's see if we can read our words. Are you ready? Tree, sea, leaf, teeth, teapot, feet. Wow, we learned 2 ways to write our E sound today. We can use E-E or we can use E-A. And believe it or not, there are even more ways to write that sound that we'll learn at another time. Now, let's get back to our story about Albert and see what happens now. Here's our story we've been reading the last couple of days about Albert, the man who was afraid to go outside because he kept hearing noises that were scary to him. You may remember from our writing activity yesterday, we summarized what's happened so far. Albert would go out each day and put his hand out the window to see if the weather was right for going outside. But he always heard scary noises, so he just stayed inside. Then one day when he had his hand out, a pair of cardinals built their nest, and the mom laid her eggs. Now the eggs have hatched, and you might remember one of the little cardinals, the little fledgling baby cardinals, was afraid to fly. So Albert was trying to encourage the little bird to fly. Can you see right here? Here's Albert, and you can see the little bird on Albert's arm, and he's trying to help this little scared bird learn how to fly. Now I'm going to read the next page, and let's see if that scared little bird learns to fly. Albert stuck out his hat in front of the fledgling. "Come on," he said, "give it a try." The fledgling jumped into the hat. Albert tossed him up lightly. He fluttered a little and landed safely back in the hat with a beep. Albert tossed him higher. He fluttered a lot and landed back in the hat with a loud chirp. Albert tossed him high, high, high. The fledgling looked around and spread his wings. He flew to the maple tree and whistled. Albert smiled and whistled back. The nest sat empty in Albert's hand. Yay! The little bird, with Albert's help, got over his fear and actually took off and flew. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking there's somebody else in this story that's been afraid. Who is it? It's Albert. And I think the author wants us to learn something from this experience. I wonder what it could be. What is the author's message? What is the author teaching us about something we can do in our life when we're scared? Let's think on that as we finish up. Albert drew his arm in through the grill work, and the nest fell because it wasn't needed anymore. Albert looked at the grass and the trees and the sky. He listened to laughter nearby, a good noise, and the siren of an ambulance far off, a scary noise. And Albert knew now that both were a part of this big, wonderful world. Beautiful things and scary things. He put his face up to the grill work and he felt the wind and the sun on his cheeks. "Just right," he said. Albert smoothed his hair and brushed off his hat. After so long, he hardly looked like himself. He went outside for a walk. Yay! Albert is finally going outside after all this time of being scared. Who do you think helped Albert get over his fear of going outside? I know what I'm thinking. Now, Albert goes out every day that the weather permits, and he takes walks. And sometimes, just sometimes, when no one's looking, he flies like a cardinal. Can you see Albert on the swing? And who's sitting on top of his head? His little friend, the cardinal. I love this story, boys and girls, because it's about the wonderful things in life and the scary things in life. And what I love about the book is that even when we're scared, we can try things. And sometimes, like for Albert, they turn out really, really well. So I hope you've enjoyed our story of Albert. And I hope that when you're afraid, you'll remember, Albert, that sometimes, even when we're afraid, we can still do things with the help of a friend, and eventually we can let that fear go, just like Albert did. I'll see you tomorrow for part 2 of E. And the special surprise visitor will be Fergus, my greyhound, who has written a brand new book for you. Bye-bye.